Hi folks, this is Darren with his kitty cat Romeo here, and what we have to share with you is a Furrion water heater. And there's really not too much we're going to talk about on this, but I do want to share with you some of my experiences in working on these water heaters. Specifically, if you have to do any, like if you're going to work on the electrode or you're trying to diagnose some faults and things like that, the only way you're going to do that is to pull the water heater out of the RV, okay? Because you just can't get to it. Now, on this instance, remember Romeo, on this instance here, here, he wants to get on me. In this instance, this water heater was installed right next to a furnace. The furnace was right here. And there was like the basement storage, if you will, for your fifth wheels. I could get to the back of the furnace, but I couldn't get past the furnace to get to the water heater. I really would have had to have removed the furnace to get to the water heater. And on all honesty, I have had to do that a few times. Remove one appliance just to get to the next appliance. But in this instance, the manufacturer, in their kitchen, the kitchen would have been right over here. They had a false door, a false cabinet door, and you take that screw out of the false cabinet door, and then you can get to the back of the water heater. Why am I telling you this? Because if you need to do anything substantial to this water heater, an annual service, check the electrode, do any types of the diagnostics, things like that, you're going to need to pull the entire water heater out of the RV to work on it. Okay, there are 16 screws that run along the sides of this thing and on the back and everything. You're going to need to remove all 16 of those screws on top of the door to get the water heater out, disconnecting there's 4 wires. There's going to be 2 wires that are going to go to your control module, which is this thing here. So there's 2 wires that go to this. They leave the water heater blue. They arrive, this is blue, but manufacturers are going to change all kinds of colors to make it longer. And this one's, they had green and green with white stripe that they had spliced into this. So that's one set of wires. The other set of wires, these are the ones in the back here. So you have your blue wires and you have a black and a white. That's your 12 volt plus and minus. So that's your whole electrical connection to these things. Then you have a gas line, which is going to be, you need 11 inches of water column. That's what's spec on these things. If you have no idea what I mean by water column, I've got another video on how to do LP. If you're quote allowed to do that in your state. Different states have different requirements on what they allow and what they don't allow.
Tired of wrestling your manometer onto the line? The LP Tap Jig Quick Connect system snaps on in seconds. Choose from multiple tap and accessory options to build the kit that's right for you. Scan the QR code to build yours today.
Then you have your hot water, then you have your cold water supply, and then your hot water return leaving this thing. So all those connections are in the back, and that's what I'm saying. You need to get to the back of this water heater to be able to disassemble and disconnect, cap off your gas line, all kind of stuff. Then you come to the front and take all your screws out, this front flange, take your door off, and then you can wiggle, wiggle, wiggle and get this thing loose. Then you can take your 16 screws off of the cover so that you can get your cover to be removed. How about that? Magic. Once you do that, now you can get to the side of your water heater. This down here is going to be where your electrode is, your spark sense. These types of things are going to be down in this area. This silvery part is where your burner takes place, and this copper-looking deal would be your heat exchanger, where all the magic happens to make the water get hot. If you wanted to drain the water heater, okay, so you're going to winterize it, or you just want to get the water out of it. On the very bottom right-hand side, you have this little brass thing sticking out, okay, and it's got little grips on it. So I'm just spinning it and spinning it and spinning it, and that's a plug. Now we see water coming out. So it's just this little, here, let me do this trick here. See, it's got these grooves on it, and it's just got that O-ring there, and so that's basically going to screw right into there. That is your low point drain specifically for your water heater. The next thing up is this black knob. Now the trick there, like a putty knife or something, right? So there we go. I got a good old putty knife here, right? And I'm just gonna twist that. The reason I like the putty knife is because the screwdriver is going to be too narrow. And what we have here is a filter. Okay, so this filter, yep, the filter needs to be cleaned. It's got stuff in it. So look at that. Where is everybody? Okay, so if we look in there, see there's crap inside that filter. And that's the kind of stuff that I need you guys to look at when you're working on your water heaters. It's very simple, just to pull this little black thing out and clean that filter out. So basically, cold water, your cold water supply connects right here. And where does it go? The very first stop, do not pass go, is through this filter. So That's something you could do if you had one of these things, is periodically just kind of unscrew it. You know, my trick is an old putty knife. Then the white knob is, you know, you can adjust your temperature, hotter or colder. You know, pretty straightforward. This red knob's purpose in life is a pressure relief. So you go counterclockwise, you'll hear it click. There you go. Do that a couple times, and if there's water in it, where we come, we're going to come out of this little clear hose here on the bottom, and that same tray that our drain came out of, that clear hose basically comes directly from this high pressure thing. Other than that, you have a control board. We can pop the cover off, but what we're going to see is a motherboard that's potted. There's no serviceable parts there at all. Fuses are here. You replace this one little glass fuse, and there's really nothing to fix on this at all because it's potted. Other things, they make a big deal. If you look at this profile here, I'll do my hand trick again. And here, try this makeup. And, you know, I feel like, but if where's everybody? Come on, focus. But you see how one's higher than the other? Okay, and if you look, it's going to say right there, I don't know if you can see that, but it's going to say inside right there. So guess what? That faces inward. A lot of insects like to make nests in here. And another thing that likes to get inside of this exhaust port is water. So what you'll see a lot of people do is they fabricate some kind of a little hood or something over this to keep the water from getting inside. Other than that, this big fancy thing, when the water comes out of this thing scalding hot, it spins around and just kind of blends everything. So when it presents it through the high temperature switch into the gas valve, this black thing would be probably a check valve. Then it's an even hot water, not, you want to even it out a little bit. So that's what this big ugly looking thing's doing. Other things that might fail is this, I have seen where if you do not clean out your filter here, then this device right here, which is a flow meter, it's got these little impeller fans in it, that if the debris makes it past this filter, it's going to foul this thing out. So you pull your little pins out and swap it out. There are two little clear O-rings, just like these clear O-rings right here, that seat this. So looking for leaks. The big takeaway here is if you're going to work on these things, you gotta pull the furnace out, because you're not going to get to any of this juicy stuff with the cover on where all you can see is this. Okay, that's about as far as I'm going to go with this, just to give you an overview so that if you are working on these water heaters and you're trying to troubleshoot and get to something, that really the only way to get to it is to remove it from the RV, take off your 16 screws, and take the cover off to get into the back of it. All right, guys, I hope this was beneficial for you. If it was, give us a thumb up. And this is Darren, where happy campers say my RV works. So until the next video, I hope you enjoyed this one.
The LP Tap Jig Quick Connect system makes LP testing faster and easier. Start with the main jig assembly, then add the taps you need: flare, burner, valve, regulator, or pass-through. One manometer, multiple test locations. Just snap into the tap you need and keep testing. Spend less time changing fittings and more time diagnosing LP system problems. Build your kit your way. Scan the QR code or visit myrvworks.com/QD Tap Jig Create. Tap in, test fast, get it right.